Okay, it's a continuation of where I left off. I had to, um, Monday, November 11th, 2024. So, yeah, so narcissistic people with these qualities of this, they are very demanding, controlling, inconsiderate of your time, inconsiderate of your boundaries. Sometimes they're very pushy. They don't very well know how to regulate themselves. They want it now. They want things immediately. They don't. They're very impatient people. They seem to think that like there's not any consequences for their actions. They don't really think much about the consequences of what they do. They just are so spur of the moment that they forget to think that maybe there's going to be some consequences to what they do, because they're so enthralled by the high that they get from maybe a new supply, or that thrill seeking of in the moment type, spontaneity that can lead to problems and trouble and getting themselves in trouble. And you'll find that a lot of these people are severe alcoholics or addicts of alcohol or drugs. Mostly a lot of them are cocaine addicts, alcoholics. They're doing something that has to keep them, and it's usually an illegal substance that keeps them kind of like on the edge, because they like that. For them, normalcy, any kind of balance, it represents, they don't like that. They need chaos, they need confusion, they need constant drama, and they love to create conflicts and drama in other people's lives, and kind of you become the spectator of all the drama going on in their life. And you'll notice, I've noticed at least that in my encounters with these people, is that they're very family. They have a big family. Usually, if you're talking about somebody of the Hispanic, for example, Chicano, Mexican Americans, in my case, because that's mostly who I'm around these days. Well, whatever, I'm in those. They tend, they usually have a large family, lots of sisters, several brothers, or they have a large family, and they're usually very close to their family. But there's a lot of family dynamics going on where there's a lot of conflict and jealousy and just like that, just like with any family, I guess. I don't have kids and I don't want any, but I know these things from my own childhood experience as well, that people, but with Hispanics, it's like it can get really weird, because I've seen how over the years, many years of experience, and having some Latin American, Mexican or Hispanic boyfriends or relationships, that they mostly, like, if they live with their mom or with their family, they usually, a lot of the times, they're real close to their mothers, but to the point that it kind of is borderline, like almost sort of incestuous. Like, you'd think that it could be almost like maybe some kind of incest going on. I'm not, the way they behave, the way they talk about their mother, the way they describe how they, it's like, well, is there something are you in love with your mother to the point, or is like, they haven't, it's like the boys, the men are very close to their mother, and the mother, it's like an infatuation that they have, I guess, as a child with their own mother, because they see their mother, maybe the mother was alone, maybe the mother struggled a lot, or the mother, and they maybe grew up in kind of poverty or whatever. And so they saw that growing up. And so they really want to protect their mother, which is understandable. If you're really close to your mother as a child, especially with boys or males. But, it's kind of, it can get a little bit, like I said, I've noticed it. So I've seen it over the years with some of these men that I've been involved with, where it's like, well, okay, it's one thing to be close to your mother and talk to your mother on the phone, every other day, and go have lunch with her, or take her to dinner, take her to church, or take her to the store. But it's another thing when you can't go one day without spending 2 hours on the phone with your mother, and telling her every little thing about your life, and having to get permission. It's like, well, okay, are you married to your mother? Is your mother like your, you know what I mean? Because I've had that where it's like they just are so, it's like and the mother gets jealous. The mother is actually quite envious usually of the man's, if he has a girlfriend or whatever, the mother, or let alone even a female friend who's a close friend, or if the guy is close to anybody who's the opposite sex, she's going to get jealous. Trust me, I've seen it. The mother is real controlling and jealous and possessive over their sons usually, especially in the Latino Hispanic culture, because I saw this in Bolivia, I've seen it in Mexico, I've seen it throughout various relationships I've had over my life. And I'm just saying, I'm just making an observation here. I'm just saying that from my experience, what I've seen with some of these people, men, that it can be a little bit too codependent, and until they learn to be a little bit more dependent of their mother, I guess what they kind of wonder why a lot of their relationships don't really work out. Well, sometimes I think that it has to do with the fact that the mother is actually kind of trying to control the narrative, trying to control, being too controlling of the son. I saw that, it's like that doesn't mean it doesn't have to, certainly not just with Hispanics. It can be any culture. By all means, I'm just saying I've seen it I have personally seen that with being involved with a lot of Hispanics, that they're real like family, very family oriented, a lot of them, to the point that it's like that the family doesn't want an outsider. You're not gonna meet the parents. Don't expect to meet their parents or their mother. Even if you've been with the guy for a year, they kind of try to keep you secret, and you wonder why all this is. Well, a lot of times they're embarrassed, or they feel ashamed because maybe you know too much, or you can figure things out, and they know that. They're not stupid. They know these things. They know that you know what's going on. And so does a mother. It's kind of like a shame thing, a shame secret that they kind of want to keep. And it's like a covenant. It's almost like they have a covenant where no outsiders. It's like a unit of almost like a secrecy, where especially if you're not Hispanic, Mexican, or you're of a different culture, more or less. Oh wow, talk about some kind of weird dynamics and drama there. Okay, I can assure you of that can get really strange as well. And so it's like, and then they'll talk about how, I really like, I have this thing for what I've noticed with a lot of Mexicans or Hispanic men. They say things like, I really like white women. They call them white. They don't even say, it's like they don't say like European women or European American. They just say white. And it's like, well, why don't you just say Caucasian? I hate the word white. That's like kind of ignorant to say white, because white people are of mixed descent. They're of European descent. They're of maybe they have Native American as well. They're not just white. I hate white. That's so stupid. It's so ignorant. People are very ignorant the way they talk about shit. Oh, I like white women. Oh, it's like me saying I like black men, which I don't really. I'm not really attracted to them in that way at all, as a matter of fact. But, it's like, or I could say blacks or niggers or negroids or African Americans or whatever. We all have our preferences, to each his own. If you like blacks, if you like white, I don't give a shit what people like. I know what I like and what I don't like personally, or what I'm more prone to like, me personally. But, some people will just go for anything that's got, whatever. They don't care. With narcissists, they don't care what it is, as long as you're getting supply from that person, whether it be money, attention, a job, maybe a car, a place to live, a food. Maybe they like your cooking. They like something, and it's just supply. Everything. They can get supply from a fucking phone. They can get supply from anything. It doesn't even have to be a person, okay? That they don't care. They just want the energy of that. It could be bad, or it could be low energy or good energy. They don't, sometimes they thrive off of all the negativity and the chaos because that's what fuels their energy and gives them all this negative demonic energy that they seem to thrive off of for whatever reason. It's very odd, I've noticed, because I've seen some of these people, these men, in my case, they'll be, one minute they'll be really calm and nice, and then the next minute it's like you're dealing with a fucking completely different person altogether. It's like a switch, you flip their fucking switch, and then you see a completely different side of them that came out of nowhere because you triggered something, an emotion or a memory, or you made them mad or something that they react to, that it's like, oh wow, 5 minutes ago you were talking about that and now you're a completely different person altogether. And then they project and they say all the same shit about you, and it's like maybe they're the ones who are fucking crazy. You know, they call you crazy and they say the same thing about you, that you're 1 minute you're this one. Oh, maybe you need to do some fucking introspect, sir. Did you ever fucking analyze yourself and realize that maybe it's you? But they don't do that. They're in denial. You'll notice how vain they are, how I'm perfect. I don't need anything. I don't need anybody. I'm perfect. I'm perfect looking. I'm handsome. I wear the best clothes brand. You know, they're very arrogant, self-absorbed usually, and it's all about them, all about their image and status, and they have to always look good when they go. They're so overly concerned with how people perceive them, total strangers, that they put on a fucking act, literally a fucking fake act that you can see through when they behave like that in public, because it's like, what the fuck? Why don't you just be yourself? And who gives a shit about what these people, why are they so concerned about what you have to wonder why do they care so much about what a total stranger is going to think when it doesn't fucking matter? Nobody really gives a shit. But with them, they think that everybody's looking at them all the time. They think that the world only revolves around them, that they have to be the center of attention. And that's how they are. If they're not getting the attention that they need or want from people, they get angry and they act out. They act out like little children. They behave like Arrested Development adults. And they act out, and that's when they need their mommy to the rescue. Well, I'm an adult man, but mommy's going to take care of me. Mommy's going to do everything for me. If I have a problem, well, I just have to tell my mommy right next door in the room. She'll do anything for me. The mother will do anything for these sons. She'll cook for them. She'll clean for them. She does everything for them. And it's like, okay, that's really sweet. How adorable. Are you going to marry your mother, or are you so attached to your mother that you can't ever, what are you going to do one day when your mom's not around? I'm just saying, it's like, do they ever think about these things? What would they do without their mother? And then they look for their mother in a relationship. They look for somebody who's going to be their mother, their caretaker, their nurse, whatever, and their lover. And you're supposed to fulfill all these roles. And if you fail and mess up, or you're not perfect, then they punish you and criticize you and make you feel like shit about yourself because you didn't perform. You didn't do a good job because it's a role that you're supposed to play, basically. This is how it is with relationships. That's why, thank God, I really am single, and thank God I'm not married. Because I can't imagine, you know that marriage is going to nowadays, what's the point of getting married when everybody is cheating and lying? Everybody's on a fucking dating app. You find out that your significant other of 10 years is on a fucking dating site and you doing shit behind your back. All you have to do is scroll through their fucking phone to find out. So why even get married if you know that you're going to cheat and you're promiscuous and you can't keep your fucking dick in your pants and you're a sex addict? Or why even bother? Why don't you just stay single? Because you're going to blow up every fucking bridge you come across anyway. So don't waste your time and don't waste other people's time. Just be single and keep your dick in your pants and learn to be monogamous and faithful. But they can't do that. They're always tempted by the fruit of another. Okay? There's always temptation, and temptation It's thrown at you in all directions in the media, the fucking porno that they're addicted to. It's always going to come. There's always going to be temptation. And if you're going to take the bait, then don't expect your relationship to survive. If it's not direct and honest and you're doing shit, in other words, lying to your significant other, if you're fornicating and actually having intercourse with another person, that's called cheating. Even emotional cheating. But if you're supposedly in a monogamous relationship with somebody and it's just that person, then both of you should not be on any fucking dating sites, and you should just be committed to each other and learn to accept each other for who you are and the faults and everything, and work on the fucking relationship, or get the fuck out of it and move on. But what they want to do, these narcissistic assholes, is they want to have so many supply people. They lead you on a fake relationship, acting like they care. No, they don't give a shit. It's about, what are you going to do for them? Are you going to provide their sexual favors? Because with them, somatic narcissists, remember, they're cerebral, they're somatic. Somatic, it's all about sex. It's all about the body. It's all about touching. It's all about the way you look. It's about that. It's all about that. Sex mostly. They're sex addicts. And if you're not a somatic narcissist like they are, you better say, you know what, this is not going to work out. I'm more of a person who's intellectual. I'm not so interested in sex anymore. I just don't really care. And with me, quite frankly, I don't really care anymore. I've come to a point, and I'm usually, what happens is I try to be like, if you want to just date somebody and get to know them and build a relationship and a trust and communication, they get impatient. They immediately want to take you to the bedroom too quickly, and then they pressure you. And so you give in sometimes, only to realize that that's a test. It's a test. Because after, they want to they want to test you. They want to see what it's ridiculous. It's like, well then, if you just want that, yeah, let's stay single, which is what most people are. They're single, friends with benefits crap. But you know what? I would rather be single the rest of my life than have a friends with benefits relationship. That's just a waste of time. I'm not going to have sex with some fucking strange guy in a motel every once in a while and then go do the same thing with another stranger to get a fucking $50 gift certificate or some cheap gift that he's going to... Now, what's the point? Friends with benefits, what the fuck does that really mean anyway? It's like, in other words, you're a prostitute. That's what it is. If you're friends with benefits for a man and you're a female, you're basically just a prostitute to him. That's all you are. He sees you as nothing but a doormat whore, that he's going to get what he wants from you physically and maybe give you a little bit of a token of appreciation and a fake love bombing, but it's all bullshit. It's not real. Okay, but some people are into that because they don't care about any kind of real spiritual connection with somebody or a bond, which is very difficult to have that nowadays. But most people just don't care. They're too busy, focus on their work, their whatever. Nobody cares. And it's just the way life is nowadays, especially with the internet and especially with all there's so many options. It's too easy to have whatever you want. And so, of course, people are going to play the field as long as they are able to, because they have so many options. And why not? They've got money. If they've got money and options, that's what they're going to do. I can assure you that they are. A man with $1 billion or $5 million is not going to settle for one woman. He's going to have about 25 of them or more in his harem garage, and he's going to rotate. You're going to be, if he likes you for something, he's going to put you on rotation. You're never going to be the only one. Same with women. It's just the way it is. And I don't care what people, you can argue with me about this all fucking day, but people are going to lie and say, no, I'm a monogamous type person. I really just want to be with one person. I don't sleep around. No, that's usually a lie. If they're on a dating site and it's a man, I can guarantee you that if he goes out on dates, he's probably screwing these women, or they're doing something that's sexual. People don't just, you know what I mean? That's usually what happens, especially if they have alcohol or some kind of drug involved. That's usually what ends up happening, especially with these younger people. It's just the way it is. And it's just like, well, do they even worry that maybe you're going to get an STD or maybe you're going to get sick, or they don't really think about it. People don't really think about these things. Some people do. Plenty of people do, but other people just don't care. They don't care because it's so much about the in the moment and the thrill of the chase and the the conquest of getting something. And it's like, it's just silly. It's just like a big, when you really start to think about it, it's like, do you really want to be touching somebody or having them touch you when you don't know where they've been the night before, who they've been with, or what they're doing? It's like, are they gay? Are they, I know personally, if I know that a man is with a bunch of men and he's bisexual and well, what the fuck? Why don't you just be honest about it and tell me the fucking truth? If you want to be a straight man, but you've been bisexual before, then tell me, be honest. But honesty is something that they don't like because it's too revealing. It's too, it shows too much vulnerability, and they don't want to show a vulnerable side because they have to put on a facade of being tough and perfect. And, I have my shit together all the time and I can do anything and I'm invincible. But if they show any kind of vulnerability or weakness, especially when it comes to their anatomy, their health, when their health starts to decline, when they get sick and something happens, then it's like, oh wow, look at them. Look at them now. Look at them now. They act like nothing's going to ever happen to them, but then something happens to them and they act, oh, wow, you see how some of them are? And then they get mad at you if you're sick or something happens to you. They punish you if you feel sick. Then they punish you about it. You're expected to just be on your fucking toes all the time, serving them like a fucking servant. But God forbid should anything ever happen to you, because you're not allowed to get sick. You're not allowed to rest. No, it's all about them. Excuse me? I didn't fucking sign up for that. I'm not married to you. I don't have a contract with you. So what the fuck, dude? Fuck that. I'm an individual, an autonomous individual. I make my own fucking decisions. I pay my own fucking bills. I drive myself to the store. Nobody does a fucking thing for me. Nobody cooks for me. Nobody cleans. I do it all myself. And if I want to eat out, I'll go to a fucking restaurant and every so often, or go, but that's it. I prefer to do things on my own. I like to cook. I do like to go to the store. I do like to go to the gym. But I can't do everything. I can't play. It's impossible. It's exhausting what they demand of people sometimes, because they feel entitled to other people's property. Sometimes they just want your fucking property. Some of these assholes are going to come into your life putting on a front, and it's because they want something from you. They want property. They want money. They want what you have, and they're jealous. They're envious. And they think, well, why do you have that and I don't? It becomes a competition that they think that you don't deserve that. Well, you don't fucking know me, what I've gone through and the work I've put into this, so screw you. Until you really fucking know me, don't fucking judge me. That's my message to some of these dumb fucks that think they know everything. Excuse me, maybe I have done a lot of work on myself and I still work and I do things that you can't fucking do and you're mad about it. Just because it's not some little fucking corporate clock in, clock out shit like you do doesn't mean I don't work. It's just a different kind of work that you don't fucking know how to do because you don't have the fucking ability to do it. So shut the fuck up and quit fucking labeling me and put me in a fucking category so that you feel better about your pathetic fucking self. That's my message to some of you fucking arrogant shits that step all over people like they're a fucking doormat. Get what you want, then run out the door and disappear, and then come back begging for more, with your fucking feet, your fucking tail between your legs. Shit like that. To try to get sympathy or putting on an act. I see that all the time too. So they do this quite well. They put on the sympathy act, or woe's me, look at me, I need help and nobody's there to help me and I had to do this and I had to do that and nobody cares about me and they love to do that. But they're very childish, pathetic, Arrested Development, entitled, most of the time spoiled mama's boys, spoiled type, fraternity, little rich, Mason. A lot of these guys are Freemasons, and they're just entitled. They're little arrogant, entitled brats that still act like they're in fucking middle school or high school or fraternity, college. And some of them are very arrogant. Some of them are not, but some of them are extremely fucking arrogant about how they behave. And they still behave like little adolescents on a game, like a game. It's a game of football. And that's how they see everything, is a fucking game. And they don't really have the ability to introspect, and they don't have a very high spiritual awakening because they're very superficial, materialistic people. Go to fucking LA and live amongst those people. You'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. For example, fucking goddamn Los Angeles is filled with these kinds of wretched, narcissistic people who are so arrogant and full of themselves. But hey, shit walks, money talks, whatever. I get it. You got the money, you can do anything. But, hey, okay, but I still am going to be who I am no matter what. You're not going to change me. If I've got $1 billion to my name or 5 million, I'm still who I am. So fuck you. Don't even fucking try to change who I am. But they want to change you. They want to change you so that it makes them feel better, because they're usually so insecure that they have to feel like you have to mirror them, or they try to mirror you and start liking the things you like, and then they try to impress you and do weird shit to try to get your attention or you to react. And it's very outlandish. They'll go to all kinds of extents to get your reaction, especially after the breakup or the hoovering failed and or there's something going on and you've exposed them. Oh, they'll go to all kinds of lengths to fuck with you and gaslight you and try to get you to react and emotionally fuck with you, because they're evil. A lot of them are just evil, demonic people that are very mean fucking people. They've just got some kind of cursed something that they're just mean demons. And everybody's got, some people have a good and bad side, and some people are just fucking pure evil. I don't know what it is. It could be this curse of Canaan thing where I believe a lot of that is true. They're just fucking cursed from birth or something, because it shows in their behavior and in their actions. Their actions speak it all. The way they behave, the way they treat you, the way they are aggressive, or do they have any manners? You'll see the way they behave very like a barbaric sometimes. And it's like, well, can you please be more civilized and show some respect and manners? But then they get all offended if you say that, and it's just weird. It's very strange with some of these people, I've noticed. And so it's like you become like their therapist, their everything, and it gets exhausting because you don't get a break. If you try to take time off, they hunt you down. Basically, it's like they're fucking bounty hunters, or it's like, what the fuck who are you, and who are you to invade my life and violate my boundaries and my privacy? This is my sanctuary. You don't have the right to just invade it when you want. They want maybe they just want your fucking property. They're used to living with 5-6 people. It's like, well, shit, I live alone and I fucking like living alone. That's what I like. That's who I am. I like living by myself and talking to myself and doing my own fucking thing and making my fucking videos. And this is what I like to do. Doing my research, and this is what makes me happy. Going to the gym. The things that I do are things that I like to do. And if you don't like it, well, then move on and go find someone that you do like to be with. Because they always want to change you. Don't ever change for somebody. If they're already trying to change you into somebody different as soon as they meet you, tell them to fucking take a hike. Tell them to go, there's a door, get the fuck out. Go, get out the door. Don't tell me what to do, especially in my own fucking house.